The One Piece! The One Piece is real!
Can we get much higher? So high.
It's a great day here at KEKCast. I am KEKFILA, your usual host, and this is your number one One Piece trading card game podcast. Today I have two special guests, a returning guest, Will Craddock. How are you doing, Will?
Doing good. How are you, my man?
Doing so good. Thank you so much for asking. And a special guest, Tyler Green, aka I dub him Mr. Green.
I mean, it is my name, so
Yeah.
Senior Verde. That's what we call him.
when I go down to Mexico or I'm drunk on margaritas, Senior Verde, yes.
Senior Verde when you go down to Mexico. Great. Do you actually have any like username or gamer tag or like social media you might go by that people are like, oh yeah, that guy? Or is it just always Tyler Green?
Not really. I just go by Ty or Tyler.
Okay.
And then like margaritas and put a sombrero on and go by Senior Verde once in a while.
Senior Verde. I think Senior Verde actually might be a better thing. Maybe that'll be a great name for you because I just made this Mr. Green logo just so I had you on this channel, but maybe I'll make you a Senior Verde because I think that might be. Even better.
I'll do the full poncho and the maracas, the whole thing. I mean, it's whatever.
It's actually better if you don't. It's almost like hilarious that it doesn't happen. Or because usually I sometimes ask people, where do you get your name from? Like Saucy, where'd you get your Saucy name? But I can't ask that for you, right?
Yeah, it's just the name.
Yeah. Before we jump into anything on the podcast, I first want to just give a shout out to our sponsor of this video, Loser Dawn. Go ahead and pick up some Loser Dawn. The link will be in the description. It's a Google form. You'll just fill that out. Essentially, you're just saying that you'll pay for the shipping for it, and get that sent out. I know I've sent out to everyone who's been on the podcast so far, and I know Cross did a post and it got a lot of views, and people said they really wanted it. And I'll be for sure sending Tyler Green some here in the mail, probably shortly after.
Gotta start charging more. Make that money.
$25 for 10 is good. Is a decently high price. I feel.
It's a good meme though.
It is a good meme, but they are good cards, like good quality of them. Did you actually get yours?
Absolutely.
Bill?
Yeah, I got them right here. I couldn't tell that these are not One Piece cards. Like the stock is great.
Yeah, it's the great thing about it too is the stock's great, and I think the guy when he made those, he went to a place. I think they made more like poker cards, that kind of thing.
Right.
They don't bend like poker cards do.
No, they're definitely thicker feeling.
Yeah, but most people would look at this, look next to the winter one and say, I couldn't tell 100% exactly. And I play those at my locals all the time, and people are really happy to get those, especially if they lose or win. So
you need a huge stack of them, so you just hand them out every time you beat someone.
Yeah, I will be going to Pasadena in September 2nd, 3rd. I did get into that, and I will definitely be having a full stack just to hand out those losses, right? Because I'm coming for the win.
Or you might have the full stack at the end of the day.
Could you imagine every round? I do this every round at a live event. I take a selfie with them, and I mark down what they were, even if I won or lost. It's really awkward when I lose and I take a selfie. But also handing them a Loser Dawn. I think maybe I'll hand it to them before the game, to make it even more
mind games, man. No hard feelings, but this is going to be you here in 20 minutes.
I think that sounds great. But before we'll just jump into the podcast. Tyler, let's get to know you a little bit. Who were you before, I guess, card games? What do you do? Like, what's Tyler, I suppose?
I do very little. I do very little. Now, right. Well, you actually do very little. So I didn't really do card games when I was younger. Not until I actually got married. It's kind of got so for me, actually today is actually my 10-year marriage anniversary.
Congratulations.
So yeah, but I talked because it's also the the first day of OPO3 out, and I really wanted to play at my locals. So I actually talked my wife into having dinner last night instead of tonight, so I could go play at locals.
Our
And she was
priorities.
actually okay with that, bro. Yeah, she didn't care about it until I started winning them Luffy's, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, honey, you go those trips." But yeah, so I just a little bit about me. So I live in Oklahoma City with Will. I'm 28 and have married, have 4 kids. So can't even pull out. Yeah, I can't even pull out the driveway. It's a thing. It's a mutual thing. But yeah, no, I got into One Piece from Will. Before that, I played Pokemon, played that with my kid, and then was a big Flesh and Blood guy, like Flesh and Blood, and was planning on just playing One Piece while I was waiting for the next set to come out, and then accidentally win my first Treasure Cup, and then I'm like, oh, I guess I'm gonna play this card game now. So that's just kind of how it evolved, and here we are.
Flesh and Blood's too hard.
Flesh and Blood is too hard. It is hard. Like if you go to like a One Piece event on a scale of 1 to 10, if you take everybody together, I'd say it's an average 5 or a 6 skill level. I'd say Flesh and Blood is an average 8 or 9.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not even close.
I mean,
but
they are people just moving around. My only experience with Flesh and Blood, I never played it, by the way. It's T Tabo. Do you know this person?
Yeah, I know who Tabo is.
Yeah, so I was supposed to face him first round online, and he just calls in the channel and says, "You got the win. I'm on a Flesh and Blood trip." So I'm like, oh my gosh. He just wanted to go X3 and drop. And yeah, that was interesting. So
yeah, they have you can see like you can see national rankings and world rankings constantly, because they'll say, hey, top 100 people in the world get an invite to Worlds automatically. And like, so you can kind of like spy on people, and he'll usually be pretty top of like America or someplace.
My question is, as far as Flesh and Blood goes, it just sounds extremely, extremely competitive, right? And that's the main market of it. And I feel in a lot of games it's really good to have a casual player base to lose sometimes, right? Or not exactly do like the best. Just because it makes it maybe more fun for the people that are in the middle, right?
Yeah. Well, you get that more of like a local scene, because it's a lot more like, oh, I like played Wizard, or I like playing Guardian, I playing Mac, so you get some people that just get their pack decks and they're just chill. But when like it's like, oh, congratulations for getting this place, here's a check for $1,000, here's a check for 25 grand, and then your trophy card you sell to like Rudy for 50K or whatever that guy sold his trophy card for. Like, you're gonna get the sweats that are going for the cash, but the game is still fun on like a local level. That it's not, and it's not like a Yu-Gi-Oh! Where everybody's trying to cheat you to get the extra $5 here or there. It's a pretty good game. It doesn't have a lot of like bad actors, I would say.
Yeah.
I'm just worried about sustainability of the game, because without casual players, it's hard. People like tournament players buy singles like we do. So I mean, that'd be my only concern.
I'm 30. I'm gonna start drinking. So that's a
good.
legit thing.
It's only 11:09 a.m. on June 30th. So you're fine.
I mean,
it's 5 o'clock somewhere
on a weekday. I'm drinking for Japanese whiskey. Yeah. So it's that's what I do. That's what winners do. Okay.
That's what winners do. Yeah.
That's what Treasure Cup winners do. Is we drink before noon on a weekday.
I drink water from my pig cup. So.
Okay.
That's delightful.
And we'll talk about early One Piece. Did you get into like any of the pre-releases, like the super pre-releases?
Yeah, I have no idea why I did it, but I did it, and then all my Flesh and Blood friends were making fun of me because it was like September, and the game doesn't come out till December. Another reason why Bandai is horrible at everything they do. But anyway, I brought my daughter for an extra body, and we just did double Kid. Should have done double Luffy. Didn't know that was going to be a thing, but we played it at a very, very casual place that is notorious for not knowing the rules / telling the rules or enforcing that. And I lost my super rare. I lost the super pre-release Luffy to someone sharking me in time, because they're like, "Oh, it's in time." I'm like, "Okay, what is time?" And I lost because of Dawn or something, even though like I had to win. So it's whatever. But I played the pre-release.
Yeah, Yeah. Okay. You played a little bit of that. That's fun. I didn't get a super pre-release Luffy. I barely tried in pre-release days. Like I was really I should have tried way harder.
I didn't
All
get to
the
play in
game-
one, so
Nobody was good in like that though.
Everybody forgot to put out their life beginning of the game. It was a magical time, right? Where
No, but yeah.
yeah, you forgetting exactly how. Oh, this card's also a 1K counter. That can be worth a lot. Like that's actually it's like way too much a 1K counter now.
Someone attacks your leader for 5, you throw a blocker in front of it. Nobody's attacking characters. It's just it was a train wreck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that that was interesting, but we can't go back in time and do that. But okay, and then yeah, well, actually, let's just go step by step. You are pretty successful in One Piece, right? But then, after we talk about your successes and experiences, I'll kind of go into what you're kind of up to lately as far as everything.
Sure.
I know you do a lot of Patreon and talking with Will, right? Is that right? You guys are a part of this kind of a team.
Yeah, the whole team Will to Win Gaming. There's 4 of us. Me and Will are most active. So what happened was we had Arlington was announced. That was the only one I went to, and I show up at our buddy Paul's house. He's a part of Will to Win Gaming, and I show his house about 5 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then we drive down to Dallas, and then it was a 1-day event. So we go through the whole shenanigans of the entire event, and I went like X1, and then just played kid after kid after kid. And our finals match did not start until I want to say at 11:40 p.m. that night. So
now,
as soon as go ahead, yeah.
One thing I want to ask about Kid in general in that time, Kid was very considered a slower deck, right? That could go into time, but obviously a very strong deck. I don't know if that's ever a problem with you with time. Has ever been an issue unless your opponent takes too long?
Will makes fun of me. I play like 3D chess. I'm thinking like 17 turns ahead for every single thing. You know what, Will? No one asked you, okay? Like it's like if I do this and he does this, well, if I do this, and I'm like gaming out every possibility for every move before I'll even like tap a dawn. And so that's something I do. But now when I was playing, it was just all kid mirrors, and in Top Cut, as of now, the only time I've ever not 2-0'd was my finals loss to Cross in my first Peoria.
Yeah.
The only time I've not 2-0'd. So everybody was being like super, big brain. I'm gonna starve them out on cards, play Yamatos. I'm just gonna have complete control. I did the exact opposite. I did not care about giving you cards, and I just went straight Leroy Jenkins with my kid. In your face as hard as I possibly could, as much as I possibly could.
Oh.
And then eventually they just couldn't do anything about it. So that's how I ended up winning, is everybody's like being very disciplined, Basil Hawkins will swing once and then restand and not go a second time.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I'm going to go in every time, turn my Basil Hawkins sideways twice, go after it, I don't care. If you go after my Basil, you can't swing at my life for 12.
Mm-hmm. I thought that I actually thought that that's what people weren't doing. I thought kids were like had this notion of don't attack the leader. Whoever attacks the leader first loses. That was some myth I didn't really know about. And I've heard about it, but I thought it was maybe mid or bad advice, or maybe like newer people advice, because it made sense in some cases. But
yeah,
I've definitely, I played blue, and I've definitely just rushed them before, and they just didn't draw a kid. Or
the problem with set 1 was it's honestly 2 different pieces of advice for 2 different players. If you're a guy that's going to go 5-4 in a 9-round event, yeah. But if you're in Top Cut, you're a good player. And so the problem is, they're a good player. So if you can pretend you're a bad player, or you can do there's ways you can play around it. And so if they're going to not swing at my character to give me life or to give me cards in hand, and they just want to control the board, that's fine. The best way I can do is just machine gun their life as possible. I wouldn't do that against a bad player, but against a good player, I'll definitely do it.
Oh, okay. I guess you'd be putting them more in situations they don't really know how to navigate because they're probably used to those more controlled, the opponent doesn't attack me kind of scenarios. But
Let me put it this way: have you ever been in an actual fist fight?
not in a minute.
Okay, so it's like fighting somebody. Like, so if you're fighting some random drug guy at a bar, you fight correctly. But then it's like, if you're fighting a crazy person that's on drugs, that's gonna take that a whole different ball game. And so that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be the crackhead fighting somebody. And that's what you do in Top Cut. You embody the crackhead.
That's gonna be the quote for this video. Okay, like when I have that like clickbait, it's gonna be fight like a crackhead, something like that.
The crackhead.
Treasure Cup winner Tyler Green says fight like a crackhead.
Wow. I think that's actually sound advice. So you did well there, obviously, right? You didn't. I guess I don't really know if there's any other events that was around you. You're in is Oklahoma like the center of the country? I live in Utah, so I'm stuck in.
We drive to everything. It's wonderful.
Yeah. Kansas is technically the center of the country, but Oklahoma is pretty center as well, and so Oklahoma City, smack middle of it.
You drive to Peoria as well?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, both times.
Okay. Is that like cheaper to just drive than fly, or?
Yeah.
It's simpler though, especially when you have multiple people, because then it's like having to coordinate like with everybody, like flights and Ubers and stuff. So if it's one of those things where you can just get in a car, drive 10.5 hours, fit 3 or 4 people, and then as soon as it's done, just drive back.
What you guys really need,
trip we got back at 6 a.m.
What we really need is the KEK bus, okay? Like or that's like the fun bus, or the bang bus. So we're gonna do this. How about a trailer? You guys need an RV soon. With enough Luffy cards, you guys might be able to start making payments on an RV and hauling that around. That would actually maybe save you in the long run on stay, right? Just maybe not. The gas is pretty expensive when it comes to fueling those up. So
if Paul would go to an event with us, he could just buy it himself. He can afford it.
Paul,
that's right. He's super busy with work, and so he's not been in with us. But yeah, he's a member of Will to Win Gaming, so we make fun of him because he works from home and makes like quadruple what we make.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, maybe we'll just need to borrow his trailer. So see you guys at Pasadena. You guys didn't sign up for Pasadena, right?
Nope.
Okay.
We're going to Knoxville and Tulsa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tulsa's gonna be a big long drive for us.
Okay.
Yeah. Hour and a half.
With these events you guys are going to, I know Bondi I think has changed, or not Bondi, these organizers have changed what they're doing. But I believe that if you didn't get signed up but you got in the wait list and you show up and there's, let's say, actual open space, you can actually walk up to them right now and just say, hey, can I get in the tournament? I'm on the wait list. And because they have so many open spots, you're able to get in. That's what I was told.
There's 2 different wait lists. Okay, there's 2 different wait lists. All right. Oh. So if you sign up for like Tixar or RK9, there is that wait list, and that wait list doesn't mean anything. Okay. That wait list is for them to gauge how many people are entering their events. Most of these people have an offline wait list you can sign up for, and that's the actual, if you show up and no one else is there, you can get into the tournament wait list.
If somebody did that for any tournament, what's your likeliness of actually getting in?
Pretty high.
Pretty high. Do you think it? I might be like a little worried about Pasadena because it's so highly populated and they're having a lot of side events. If you're planning on getting in, like if you're traveling for that, I don't know what the chances are of getting in, right? But I heard Ohio and maybe even Peoria was like this, that they only had 366 actual people there playing the tournament.
Yeah.
So you could have just walked up and said, I want to play. And they say, okay, well, sure. That sounds good to me.
And I think that a lot of people get their stuff in drops. They show up, get their packs and drop.
They do that in a live tournament? Like
they do that in a live tournament. I hate it, but that's their prerogative. But I think they should let people in after that too. They should be like, if you're just going to drop after you get your entry stuff, just tell us, and then we can get more people in the tournament. you might not get entry prize, but if you want to play, you want to play, right?
Yeah.
Like I would play without entry prize because I'm showing up to win a Luffy. That's what I'm there for.
Peoria won. I remember they said if you do not have an opponent in front of you, raise your hand. And like I counted over 70 people without an opponent.
Wow. Okay. That I mean, it's like that in a lot of events, but usually if it's because it's like it is a
Well, that's after registration. Like they had to register that they were there, and they got their shit, and then they dipped.
Yeah. Like the thing is, they travel that far to do that most of the time, right?
Could be locals. I mean, they might be like an hour away. Locals. Yeah.
I'm kind of shocked. I mean, it's like that online too, but it's like the same there. Because I played Vanguard, and you go to the first round, and it's free entry, so it's even worse. You can think it's even worse, right? You'll have a 360 people tournament, and like a lot of people don't have a first round opponent, and like they didn't even show up to say hello and goodbye, right? So
I think it should be changed to 5 rounds personally. For online events, you have to stay for 5 rounds to get your entry prize. That's just me. I think you should play in a tournament to play in a tournament, not to resell your entry product.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, it's about the game, not about the prizes, right? But the prizes is a secondary thing that's great.
At least to me.
The thing is, you get more people that come in and say, "Sorry, I don't want to play." Imagine you're there to play, and you lose first round because your opponent was Tyler Green. Okay, and then you go to second round, and your opponent's like, "Hey, man, you got the win," right? And then the third round, another person says, "You got the win." Because my other opponent, they also wanted to give me the win. People are going to be like this. It's going to be a meta of, "Oh, I didn't want the win. You can have it." Right? "Oh, no, you can have it." No, you can have it.
I want to beat people. Kill.
Yeah, I don't understand. There's definitely an extra level of casualness that's going on about getting these prizes. And, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm glad the prizes aren't like going to be as crazy anymore. Like, it's not like gym bays where you can only get it from there. It's like, it's Navy black stuff, right? Those kind of promos or like Rhizo alt arts, stuff like that.
But the top 8 prizes are getting better because we're getting the Rush Zoro alternate art, which might be $4,000 on its own.
Oh,
yeah,
I forgot. So wait, what are all the prizes? It's a Shanks, serial Shanks, right?
Okay, that's for the regionals. Yeah, you get the serial Shanks and you get the 3 admirals for top 64, 32, and 16.
Okay.
But the treasure cups, you're going to get a serial Luffy and the alternate art Rush Zoro.
What is
going to be huge money.
I don't even know what that looks like.
It's got like the blue flames all around it. It was like a flagship battle prize over in Asia.
Flagship.
Yeah.
Now
it's going to be insane.
How are flagships going to be? Because in Japan, flagships are like basically a bigger local, like maybe like 12 people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's only for like first place. And I don't know how flagships are going to work in the States. If it's like a local thing
way
or
more competitive.
Way more competitive.
We may not get them. We may just get our current system because we have so many events, right? Like me and him are playing 2 to 3 events a month when we can.
Yeah. Tyler, do you play any online events, by the way?
Shut up, Will. Shut up. I have not gotten into a single online event at all.
Do you need help getting into an online event?
Yes, give me a bot, please. I played in 4 events. Mm-hmm. 2 Arlingtons and 2 Peorias.
Yeah.
I played in.
Okay. So with that,
I try every time.
I know it's hard to get online events, okay? But for some reason I'm some voodoo master and I worked with Saucy. I actually got into one for Pasadena. But I can maybe work my magic on the next online sign up and get Tyler Green in to something, okay? I'm not using bots. This is homegrown clicking, okay?
I can't wait to get cheated on by somebody. I cannot wait.
This is a great story. It was like 9 a.m. Ty messaged me like, I got my wife on a computer. I'm on a computer. Signups are about to start. And literally at 9:05, he's like, I hate online events. This game sucks. I'm quitting. I got into 3 of them.
That's the group chat. I was so fucking pissed.
Me and Paul both got into 3 online events each. I was like, I got none. We're like, okay.
Sorry. I like not getting into any is it's kind of common actually. But
Yeah.
I always say to people, there's some real trying. I mean, I'm not saying you're not trying, okay? Because it seems like you are trying. But, one thing I do now to help one person, like one of my really close friends, is when I'm on Google Chrome, I'll think it's Control-Shift-N. It opens up a new private browser, okay? And then through RK9 or something, you can log in as them and help them sign up. But I'm not saying do that for everybody and get their passwords and stuff like that, but that is technically something you can do. And they have no real way around it, right? It's just you're just helping your friends sign up. Now, it has to be a person. I think maybe there should be like some ID thing going on soon. But
people should also get on the wait list, because one of the online tournaments I played in last month, I got in off the wait list.
Yes.
And I think people just forget to do that.
Be very aggressive about the wait list as well. So, yeah. So, yeah.
But yeah, I can't get into online ones. I've only played 4 One Piece events besides locals.
I think some of the best offline players absolutely just have that kind of curse about them. But Cross is different. Cross hasn't gotten to any online because he says he sleeps in. That's his excuse. He just, I forgot, and I slept in.
Yeah, he dipped on Peoria too. I'm disappointed.
I don't think he wanted to go into a thing without Top Cut, and I guess it was expensive for him to go there, and he didn't have like a room.
Yeah.
Right. And
yeah,
I'm like,
the top cut was stupid because like I got 13th, and all I had to do was just win in one Top Cut event because Peoria won. I was ranked 10th. He was 11th going in. We were the bottom 2 X1s going in. And then I beat the XO, either in top 16 or top 8. I forget when I played him. But, I mean, it's one of those things where I wanted a third serial Luffy.
Let's actually talk about that right now. I talked to a tournament organizer a little bit. I don't love the answer they gave me. Essentially, online tournaments and now a handful of offline tournaments do not have Top Cut.
Yeah,
and
that's the norm going forward is no Top Cut.
And I'm kind of questioning why, because even if Bondi was to say if Bondi was to say, no Top Cut, what's stopping the tournament organizers from saying, no, we're going to do a Top Cut? Like,
so here's the thing though. It's about money. So these organizers, they are running a small like little side hustle business when it comes to these events.
Okay.
So I understand that their bottom line goes under when they have to pay for a venue for 2 days. I get that.
Oh yeah.
So if you're going to do it one day, let's be smart about it. Let's start an hour early. Absolutely no lunch break. What is this? If you want to play a big boy card game, there's no lunch break. Okay.
God, I hate the lunch breaks.
Get it together. Quit being a little baby. And just finish and go get some food or something like that. Like, you don't need a lunch break. So if you start an hour early and don't do a lunch break, that literally right there is 2 of your 4 hours for Top Cut. So all you have to do is just pay your people just a smidge more and you can do a Top Cut. And just, that's all you got to do.
And the thing is, you don't need as many like people there for Top Cut, like officiating it, right?
Nope.
We
were out of there by like 6, right? We left the venue at like 6 o'clock, so they could have had a top 16. Like it would have been easy.
That was prizing.
Yeah, that was after we got prizing.
Yeah, they could have finished the tournament if they would have started an hour early and done a lunch. You could do the entire tournament and be out by 8 p.m. Changed my mind.
Yeah. And well, it's the same thing with online. It does, and even online, it's easier. You're not paying for a venue, right? So why does that not have a Top Cut? And there is one thing I want to bring up about lunch real quick, not having a lunch break. And I do absolutely agree with you on not having a lunch break due to time. But, people do have human rights. That's the main thing, right? But people need to plan accordingly. Eat before the tournaments, have snacks during the tournament.
Bring water, bring snacks.
I have seen, the thing is, a lot of these people are irresponsible adults. And I have seen people leave top 8 because they were just too hungry. But that's just poor planning, right?
Right.
They didn't recognize that they have a human body and then they have to eat at some point. And
I mean, tell your friend to go get you something from the concession stand while you're playing Top Cut.
Yep.
I mean, there's just so many answers to it. I bet if you asked a judge, like, "Hey, will you go get me something? I'll buy you a snack.
I'll give you my Luffy."
Yeah, I'm sure they would do it.
Yeah, it's like, here's my card. Get yourself something too. Can you please give me something? The best thing to do is you just get a bag of beef jerky, have a couple bottles of water, and then you're good for the entire day. Yeah. And eat a good breakfast. Just eat a good breakfast and then just have some beef jerky or something.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all you need. And like, as someone that's done that, because like Dallas was one day. I was playing, I was winning. When you're playing in Top Cut, you're not hungry. You're really not. And then as soon as you're done, okay, cool, let's go get some, In-N-Out burger or whatever is around. Like, it's whatever. Casuals are gonna casual, but I think the events can be run a little smoother, but it's whatever.
I think a lot of these organizers, from my perspective, right? They don't want to. I mean, they're running 2-day events anyway, right? But why would Top Cut need to be the second day? It can be during the same day. It just needs to be done in a better fashion, right?
Right.
If they look at a lot of side events, it's all about money. If they have a lot of side events and they know that they're going to profit really well, I get that. So it's like, hey, we got a bunch of choppers, or we have sleeves, or maybe extra like straw hat Dawn or whatever, and we're doing a bunch of side events. We're going to charge everybody $20, $30, $40 entries.
Straw hat Dawn for like an 8-man like mini tournament, that'd be pretty hype.
Yeah, so I mean, if people are going to be there, it's whatever. So it's all about the bottom line. I get that. I think there are better ways to do it, but that's what they're doing. So
Bandai needs to support the TOs better. Like, Bandai needs to give them more money to run events too. Like, and honestly, coming from Magic, the TOs, they used to buy pizza. Like, you're gonna have an event. Like, just cater some pizza, sell it at $3 a slice, and that's just another way to make money.
Yeah. When there's a need, find a solution for it, and people will.
Yep. Be like, no lunch break. $3 for pizza, $1 for a bottle of water.
Yeah, and then they'll
money grabbers.
They'll go to Chick-fil-A and be like, "Yay, we got 100 chicken sandwiches." And there's like, $7 a piece or something like that, and that stuff works out super well, and everybody wins. But Bandai is not known for being good at anything that they do.
I don't know. I don't know if it's Bandai or TOs. I mean, it's hard. I actually even thought about this. I've never owned a store or ran an event realistically, so I have really no base off of this. But I'm thinking, what kind of market would that be if somebody came in kind of brand new and kind of just ran it like the way you're saying, right? Just do all these right things. You can make a profit by doing these things with kind of minimal effort, right?
Problem is, Bandai is not going to like, Bandai, no matter what their TOs do, are not going to change. Like, some TOs have done some pretty terrible things in my eyes, but Bandai's never going to get rid of them because it's easier this way. It doesn't matter how bad they are. They're just going to keep them no matter what.
Okay.
That's targeted no one specific, but there are some things I've looked at. I'm like, I don't know why you'd ever do that.
Yeah, just is what it is. But so please, can we just get Top Cut? Can we just get more Top Cuts? That's because you're saying like you got 13th in a thing, and it feels kind of weird, right? Like, you could have just won the whole thing right there, right? You don't. And I had the same thing.
Himself.
I had the same thing in a regional. I'm like, oh, I got 10th in online. If we did Top Cut, what's the chances I got first? Who knows, right?
Or at least my top 8. I mean,
there wasn't a Luffy card.
First place.
Oh.
There wasn't a Luffy card for top 8. It was only top 2 at the time for those online.
I mean, could have got top 2.
Yeah, could have got second.
Thing, right?
Yeah. So.
Yeah. It's a whole thing. So
it is a whole thing, but I definitely would make a lot of people a little happier, especially us, because the people staying anywhere usually want that. I'm sure if you got 8th, Tyler, you'd still be okay with a Top Cut, right? You'd be like, oh,
I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair though, once I have a Luffy, I really don't care. Like, sure, I got first place, Like, I mean, I'll just sell the first place Playmats. That's what I did. Like, I'll just sell everything, and then I have like the Luffy. So I mean, once I'm top 8, I really just don't care.
Well,
I want the top 8 Luffy.
I want to win.
Yeah, well, let's say like, Will, you got 7th, right, at Peoria. you would have
Yeah.
probably been okay with a top cut because you've done that before.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
100%.
And the thing is, it kind of goes like you might be thinking that first place players like it's really good they didn't do a top cut here because I would have not got first place. Maybe is less of a chance. Maybe right. I mean, they probably are on top of the world and they think they just won the tournament anyway. Like even if there was a top cut,
but I mean, it worked out for him this time, but next time it might not. Right? Next time he might get 13th like Tyler did, and be like, oh, I wish there was a top cut. So
yep, you're exactly right. So I think everyone would prefer that way. All right, we'll just jump into the next tournament. So you guys went to Arlington, then you had Peoria where you played Doflamingo well, and you played Boatbeard, and yours was a little different because you didn't run Whitebeard 9 cost.
Yeah, I still maintain that I pioneered Boatbeard. And my whole strategy with it was you're going to see your cards anyway, so don't defend your life. Get them all in your hand and take advantage of Moby Dick, which is good, not broken, doesn't need to be banned, changed my mind. But and then you just get to have your great Marco, and then you just get to go wide. So you're trying to go as wide as possible with your Atmoses and your King Dews and stuff like that, and just get that free value. And even though Edward Newgate's great, I'm not worried about saving that life because I don't have that life, and I just want 5 dudes on the field that are 3, 4, 5 drops that are swinging for 7, 8, 9K.
Yeah.
So that's all I tried to do with it.
Yeah, you tried to build a board rather than build for the game, I suppose. I don't even know what that's even right saying.
Yeah, it was really weird because that's because the best thing is when people were like, oh, he's playing, I have to make sure he doesn't, put down his Edward Newgate when he's got 2 life down. So they're hitting me for 8 or 9K. I was like, cool, and just taking my cards, and then they'll be like, how many cards you have in hand? I'm like, I have 17. And 4 of them are Rad Beam, so have fun trying to kill me.
Yeah.
And that's what I would do, is I would just be like, okay, what's worst case scenario if I don't have a Marco? Can I counter out a 15? Yes.
And then Marco makes it actually gross. Like I can't just swing 17 at you, right? You just block it. I have to swing 10 and 10, and you're like, well, that's pretty easy for me to deal with. I'll block one and Rad Beam 1K the other one, and you're like, okay, well, I guess that's good.
Yeah, that's the thing though, and so I really enjoyed Whitebeard, and it was a great play style, so I really enjoyed that, and but then, so I got second there and played against Cross, and he was a great player, and so I lost in the finals with him, but then we did a rematch on our YouTube channel, and I won the rematch, so that's all I care about.
I never watched that rematch. Dang, he was on fire that day. I was watching.
So lucky.
I was watching a lot of his stuff. He all of a sudden have a giant hand. I'm like, what the heck is this game?
He was drawn so hot.
Yeah, against you, his hand was actually the most crippled, but it was still, it was just a competitive game, I suppose. Competitive set.
He's a great dude. He's a great player. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and he's a good friend, and we keep in touch a lot.
The game you won, you didn't even get a boat, right? That's the thing.
I'm not sure. I think I pulled it out of life or something like that. Maybe I did. Maybe I won without the boat. I mean,
I think you won without the boat.
Then maybe I did. It was funny enough because I was telling everybody that the game I didn't have boat was the first time I did not have boat the entire tournament. It's you play 4 of it. When I would tell my patrons that wanted to play Boatbeard, I'd give them coaching and say, look, you don't even look at your hand. If you see blue, you keep your hand. If you don't see blue, you mulligan your hand. And so between what you draw and your life, you're going to see boat. You're going to. It should be an anomaly if you don't see a boat.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're drawing 5 cards. You have 6 life. That's 11 cards you're going to already see, and you're going to have at least 5 turns. The top 16 cards basically determines most. That's actually every deck, by the way.
And plus a mulligan, so you'd see actually.
Yeah. Technically, it's a non-zero number, and then also the games are going a little bit longer, and you're playing a 4 of them as a copy of something, so you should see it. So I feel like the chance of seeing 1 is like a I don't know. I feel like it's over 80% to see at least one.
I think it's somewhere. I think someone did the math, and it's somewhere in the 75 to 80% area.
Yeah, chances to see 10%. You know, just
Yeah.
If you see a second one, who cares? Just throw it away with Marco.
Yeah, that's what the good thing about it. With there was this problem with Onigashima with purple, right? You just see too many of them. Like
Ditch it with Queen, easy.
Yeah, but then all of a sudden you get another one, and then you're stuck again. Yeah, it's an issue. It's a whole thing. It's different. It's not the same deck, right? So, I mean, well, actually, let's talk about Boat real quick as well, because you're saying that they shouldn't have banned Boat.
Yeah, it's not. It's a good card, and it makes you play differently, but it's not broken. The reason that they got, they're like, oh, Ezo can find it. Who cares? Like, if
could they just get rid of Ezo?
Like, well, I don't think you get rid of anything. You might just say you can do several things. You can make Boat legendary if you want. You can play one of it. You can make it to where Ezo can't grab stages. I think that's the better. I think that's the cleaner play. Is saying Ezo can grab a non-stage Whitebeard card. The only thing he can't grab is Striker for Homeboy for Ace.
What?
But because I was at Arlington for my third tournament and found out that Boat was banned for Peoria 2. And I was like, why is this card banned in a set 2 tournament? And they were like, well, set 3 is allowed. I'm like, no, it's not. It's not allowed, and it's pre-release. It's not even out yet.
It's not out yet.
And, and so they banned Boat for no reason. So I ended up having to play Film Kid and hated every second of it.
But from my understanding, Boat's not banned because it's too powerful in OP3. That's not the reason Bandai gave for it being banned. They said it was banned because there's no dynamic gameplay to Edward Newgate. It was always Ezo, Boat, take all your life, attack with big dumb idiots. That was the reason they gave. They didn't actually say it was too strong. They said it just created stale gameplay.
Oh.
Well, it wasn't stale for me. I was thoroughly enjoying myself.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think Black can remove stages now too, like CP9.
Yeah,
stuff,
but that's
so,
a weird.
That.
That's a weird event. Like,
yeah.
if it was like you could just kill it, didn't you have to pay a cost? It wasn't even a card. Just the leader says kill a stage. Then yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it'd have to be like a secondary ability on a leader to kill a stage.
So anyway, yeah, it was whatever. It was my pet deck, and I enjoyed playing. So,
because imagine you
whatever.
kill.
I pivoted.
Imagine you use an event to kill Boat, and then you just place another Boat, and you're like, well, it's fine. Because
it should kill Boat and all copies of Boat in their deck.
Oh
no, we're not playing Surgical Extraction.
I like it. I don't know. Vents are kind of strange. I thought they'd be more like a field card where it does something like Boat. Boat's like that. Most stage cards are just like, oh, it's an event that you can just activate every turn for a cost.
Yep.
I'm like, well, that kind of sucks. Like I thought Striker would actually be even better. I did that in pre-release, and I'm like, this is. Do you have an opinion about Striker, guys? While we're here about that event?
No, I don't really.
It's okay. So Ace is one of like the big things that I've been working on for OP3, and Striker to me is like, this is a sideboard card, but since there's no sideboard in One Piece, you have to main deck it. So I'm actually very high on it. And the matchup is bad in, you just discard the Ace's leader ability. So I'm pretty high on Striker personally.
What do you mean by high? It has in bad or?
No, very good. But it's only very good in certain matchups. So you just have to learn what it's good in and what it's not good in.
Okay, got it. Because I think Ace is like a really good idea, really cool. I think it'd be I thought it'd be different actually. I thought there'd be more events that were like, if your leader's Ace, like do some bullshit banish double attack. There's already a double attack. Unblockable.
Yeah, Flame Emperor's pretty good.
Yeah, I thought Flame Emperor also was actually KO 2 targets, but only KOs 1. But
it's pretty good if it did 2.
It would be good, but you can only do that with Ace, right? So
yeah.
Real quick, does Boat also does that only work with Whitebeard leader?
Yeah. No. So it says Boat legitimately says if your leader is Edward Newgate or it has the phrase Whitebeard Pirates in the character name, so you can't use it for Ace. And I didn't play it because I didn't have time to test it, but there was the 3-drop 5K Marco that said former Whitebeard Pirate.
Yes.
Just like the former Whitebeard Pirate Izu, but she was in green. And so you could have played that if you wanted to. I didn't, but that's whatevs.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a 3 cost. It's easy to get rid of most of the time. And I don't know.
Well, it was 5K, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So let's see here. We went Arlngton 2. I think you guys both went there. That was I think I watched your video. Just wasn't a good time as far as winning, right?
I blame my wife. She made me go on a 2-week vacation beforehand. I was in Yellowstone. I was in Colorado. I was at fucking Mount Rushmore. I was all over the place with a minivan full of 5 freaking females, and I literally showed up back to my house at midnight, and then we left that morning for Arlington. I had not touched One Piece cards for like 2-3 weeks before the tournament. So,
and you just did you play your same list, or?
Yeah, I basically played the same list. I played more Sequate because of Law.
Oh, okay.
And so, but I mean, it was one of those things where just not enough practice, really low on sleep, and so other stuff happened. It happens. It's not a big deal. You can't win them all. But
yeah, just gotta do better next time.
And then for
Will, same thing. I mean, like we don't really go to locals. We're gonna start because OP3 is back, but I mean, it started fine, and then we had a lunch break, and then the wheels just kind of fell off, and then we had another lunch break for some reason. It got worse.
Yeah, so. 2 lunch breaks in one event.
Yeah,
Lunchgate as we call it.
Yeah, it was
Lunchgate.
I didn't understand it. Rounds were taking like an hour and 10 minutes.
Oh my gosh!
We're gonna have a break.
I need a straight up. I need to make a fake card of an event at lunchtime, right? Just you have to do that. Like you have to pay 2, to something like that. I don't know.
That's great.
I don't know if you've seen my fake cards I've made, Tyler. I have like a, what do you call it? It's a Goldie Roger. He just has every skill in the game, basically, right?
That's what's up.
He basically just has every single skill in the game. I think on KO, he declares the One Piece, right? I said the One Piece is real, but that should be a Whitebeard one. But the thing is, I remember after this card came out, I made that meme card. The Monkey D. Luffy for set 5 came out, like a red 10 cost. And people were like, dude, this is already power crept. This other Goldie Roger card. I thought it was fake for a moment because of how strong it was. I don't know. I don't try to think about future cards a lot, but that was one that
we don't either. We usually stick to the English meta. Not like we're out practicing OP4 or anything already.
Yeah. Well, people are already testing like set 5 trial deck cards here. Like the red purple Luffy.
Yeah.
And
our tournaments are going to be OP3, so that's what we practice.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
I did. This goes for all the events as well. And I did talk to a TO. I think they're getting better about this. Is side events. What are your guys' experience with side events, and any like feedback for that?
I've never played a side event in One Piece.
Oh, you have. You played it at Arlington.
You played it at Arlington. I saw you in the video. You said you played one.
What?
Maybe
after you scrubbed out.
Oh God! I completely forgot about that. Oh yeah, that was the infamous I don't know how to count scenario. Yeah, that was. I mean, they're fine. I mean, I don't really have like a strong opinion on them either here nor there. I think the biggest thing is Bandai should print more stupid promo things for side event tournaments.
Yeah.
And they should print out more for participation. So in-person tournaments can be 1,000 people, and that way you don't have to worry about, capping. And I think they should print out an unlimited amount for online tournaments, so you could have like 2,000 people in an online tournament. But that's just me.
Yeah.
I think side events should give out better cards. I think like first could be a chopper, but then they should have a card for 2nd through 8th.
I don't actually like the idea of a side event just being a mini tournament. I think they should just be I mean, what else would a side event be,
Other tournaments do like tickets. They do a prize wall, and so
Yeah.
you get tickets for being in the main event. It's like, oh, cool! For every win in the side event, you know, X amount of tickets. And if you win the side event, here's 2,000 tickets. So buy a chopper if you want, or save up your tickets and buy a
Packs.
cereal movie.
Get us packs. Come on.
I think it'd be kind of fun. Maybe everyone gets a prize as well as a side event of a bingo chart. You're playing with like a big pot of people, and you all get a bingo chart, and they all say different things. Like, oh, this person hit a trigger. You may even make your deck to be more silly.
Yeah, someone's gonna cheat though.
Yeah,
like,
no, you're right. Because how are we gonna? How we can't really monitor that? Like, there's not gonna be a judge. So, it sounds like a fun idea on paper, but when it comes to like, it can be like everyone already gets a prize. It's just more of a thing. I don't know. That doesn't. I guess it doesn't really make anybody money. I guess having many tournaments is just fine. Right.
Yeah, I like 64-man pods. I just wish it was like a prize card for first, and then maybe a lesser prize card for second through 8th. Just so there's not as much feel bads.
Yeah, even like playmats. I think playmats should be a big thing too. There's like cheap ones for an event, you know.
You're talking to two guys who just never use playmats in their life, but
really, do you guys never use playmats ever when you go out?
I don't.
I use playmats. We didn't use playmats for Wednesday's pre-release, but I mean, I'm the guy with Flesh and Blood playmat and a Flesh and Blood sleeves. But I mean, yeah, that's. I mean, it's whatever. But I treat playmats like a T-shirt whenever I go somewhere. So like, I was gonna pick it up, but I like 50 playmats.
Yeah,
I got one playmat and it stays at home.
Yeah, so when you go to like a regional, you guys don't have a playmat you play on. You just play on the.
No, that's Will. I use a playmat. It's usually just like a Flesh and Blood playmat.
I think, Will, what you're going for though is showing them that like you're like super. Oh, Will, I think I saw this before too. Do you shuffle like a bridge shuffle too?
Yeah, I bridge.
Oh God, they're cringing already. Oh God,
it's fully maxed out. Max blinged out deck and shit.
Yeah, I saw that on stream one time, and I was like, I think I messaged Ashby like, "What the fuck? What the?"
Look, I don't care. It's just cardboard, all right.
I know you say that, but you don't have to bridge shuffle. You could just mash. Just keep mashing. That's fine.
No, I love to bridge shuffle.
Oh God.
Yeah, people are making fun of it.
No, I would. I would actually cringe. I'd be like, "What the hell?" It cringes me at locals. You know.
When I was playing Magic, I was playing with like $7,000, $8,000, $10,000 decks in Legacy. All right, and I'd shuffle the exact same way. So like an $800 one piece deck's not gonna shake me.
Can we convert you just to mashing?
No.
Oh
no.
Okay.
You're lucky he uses sleeves.
Yeah, 100%.
We need the content of you just getting all your max rarity decks and bridge shuffling them on camera, ASMR. So you can, one, have that viewership, and two, everyone can cringe to it. It'll be great. It'll be the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. We could record that. We have the technology.
Like I actually picked up the last Mega Ace for my wife's deck at pre-release on Wednesday.
What are her habits with shuffling?
She plays piano. She's very ginger, like, you know. She'll just mash shuffle.
Yeah. Okay. Did you choose like dragon sleeves or something, like single sleeve?
Yeah, single sleeve. I am firmly against double sleeving. Like I hate it.
Okay. To bring up sleeving real quick and a thing, all my sleeves are in. I try to bridge the line between lewd and not enough, too lewd and not like just on that gray space of being lewd enough, right? With culture. And I played my last online tournament. We were done. I go into another channel just to talk to somebody, and I just have my webcam open. I'll show you the sleeve here. A judge told me I should not be using these as my Dawn sleeves, right? And the tournament's over, right? And he's just giving me a fair warning, like, but I'm like, are you telling me I need to? Or are you suggesting? And he's like, so I don't know where that came from, but I'll show you this, okay? It's just maybe this is past the far right. I think it's the thong and the ass crack.
Yeah, right? It's towing the line.
That's past the line. But if you have like this, you might be like, well, that can't be too bad. It's bad, but it's not the worst.
I'm just against art sleeves in general. So that's just
really.
Me. Yeah, lewd or not, I just like the, matte sleeves, solid color blocking.
Yeah.
I'm boring, so that's me.
Yeah, I guess I just always liked character sleeves from another card game. Vanguard had a lot of character sleeves, and you put the same character in the deck for that.
Because you nasty.
Well, they weren't as lewd as these. These are just those are like regular sleeves, like regular robots and stuff. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, in Japan, I don't know if you've been to Japan before, Tyler. But when we went shopping in Japan, my brother, no, they have a wall of sleeves. It'll be a sleeve that's pretty lewd, and then the one right next to it is literally just the same thing, but it's actually showing everything, like nipple and all, right? So
I've never been to Japan, but I keep up with like world news. That's nothing for Japan, because Japan recently passed a law where they raised the age of consent to 16 from 12 years old.
Wow!
So Japan's
how progressive?
Japan's they can do whatever. It's not for me.
Yeah, but their sleeves. Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
Oh man, no. I'll say this, and I'm not trying to be mean to anybody, but if somebody shows up to me with some like weeaboo like hentai sleeves, I assume I'm going to win the game. I'm sorry.
But that's my aspect of it now. You know, so Will has his basic sleeves, no mat, bridge shuffling his cards. Wow, this guy must really not really care about this game, you know? And then me, I come with nice playmat, weeaboo cards, weeaboo sleeves. Wearing kimono. I look very casual based. So maybe I am. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm too casual for this game. But
nah, you're gonna get there. You're gonna get that Luffy in Pasadena.
Yeah, I need the Luffy in Pasadena. That's what we're going for. I actually because it's set 3, I don't even know what deck I'm gonna bring yet. Obviously, that's in September, so I have lots of online tournaments to go until then.
Crocodile, baby, let's go.
I'm thinking I have a crocodile deck built and then a Doflamingo. But you've been jumping around a lot of decks. I know, just testing. Will, are you still sold on Croc? Or
I'm super sold on Croc right now. I'm very high on Crocodile.
What do you think that has an edge? Like I mean, I haven't played it. That's my problem. You know. I did watch your games, but like it's only you're playing against sim people, which are, you know, basically the lowest of the low.
Sure, most. So aside from Law, which Law will be a difficult, it'll be like Dofina Law. It's not gonna be an easy matchup. Most people are leaning into the same kind of strategies across Black, Yellow, and Red. They're just trying to get some early game chip shots and turtle up with blockers in the mid game, and then play their boss monsters like Big Mom or Newgate.
Yeah,
it's kind of the same thing. And Croc is very good at cracking that with like the 7-drop Dofi and a Mihawk, and all of a sudden they have no blockers. So if they play their boss monsters, then they're just going to get cracked in the face. Because you're going to attack for 7, you're going to attack for 9 with your Mihawk, attack for 9 with your leader.
Yeah. One thing I'm afraid of early in this set, actually, including locals, because local play is a big thing, because these winter cards are going to be worth a little bit of money, right? Is Yellow. I think a lot of people are switching, or at least trying out Yellow. It is kind of showing up as the new kind of Kaido deck, where they don't have enough time to, you know, put a lot of time into this game. So just kind of Unga Bunga, trigger Yellow and play 10-cost Big Moms. Yeah. What's that matchup kind of like as far as blue or even just Croc into Yellow?
So I think Yellow is one of the best matchups for Croc because of they're triggering their guys into play, and you have recourse against that. You have your bounce Don Quixote and your Mihawk. And so when they're trying to play their Big Moms, like I usually just take all the damage early. Like Katakuris are like attack for 7. I just take all of it. So by the time they're on 10, I'm on 0 life, and I have complete board control. So they play Big Moms like, okay, you healed 1, and now I'm just gonna punch you in the face for the entire board.
Okay, I should be taking damage the whole time. You're saying?
Sure, right. As long as you're able to control their board, which if they're that's the thing. Like it's a give and take. Yeah. It's the same thing as Zoro. You just control their board with your Don Quixotes and your Mihawks, and then. Just like Dofi, when you're on 10 Dawn, you just play like 3 blockers.
Okay.
And you have like 10 cards in hand. Even though they have 5 life, you have none. You still have complete control of the game.
Yeah, a lot of Yellow stuff also says like if you have less life, then do X, Y, or Z. So if you're a Yellow player will always have more life than you, or at least equal, they don't get that extra benefit as well.
Okay. I mean, that sounds fair. And yellow doesn't have a lot of cheap removal, right?
They have the Thunderbolt, which some categories don't even play.
That's an expensive cost, right? Like taking a life, trashing a life is really expensive when you think about how much that is. So that's basically 2 cards. That's the card in your hand.
I like it in Big Mom though. Like Big Mom, it's so good.
Really?
Like, I think Big Mom is better than Katakuri.
I need to see that list. Is that the next video I need to make a thumbnail for?
I think I already made one.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure I already made a Big Mom. I think Big Mom is way better than Katakuri.
Really?
Because of her leader ability.
Okay.
I think it's just way better. Because Katakuri is like Zoro to me. He's like,
simple.
okay, I can... Yeah, it's simple. I can deal 7 for 1 Dawn. But that's only good early on. People will adjust to it, and it'll get a lot worse.
Okay. That makes sense. Okay. And then I don't know you guys' thoughts about Law and where it's going to end up being. I think it's always a good deck. Do you think more people will actually just transition to Law competitively?
I think there'll probably less people playing Law just because they're afraid of the 5-cost Marco. Like I think Law will be the same. It's still good. Like it's still just a high tier.
Even Cross, he's like, I'm gonna play Law, but like if Zoro's better, I'm just gonna play Zoro because like But I think that's a very subjective based. I play Law and Zoro beats Law, so I should play Zoro, right?
Don't get me started on Zoro. People hate me for my opinions on Zoro.
We do not have high opinions on Zoro at Ultimate Gaming.
No, I think the deck is actively the worst red deck that people play.
Yeah. Do you think it's just an average player based thing, or like a really good player can still just make it work if they play sharply?
I mean, like a really good player is going to take Zoro, and they're going to be able to beat an average player, simply because Zoro's good at doing that. That's what Zoro does. Mm-hmm. But I think if we're just talking like high level play versus high level play, Zoro's just not good.
Okay.
It's just it's too linear.
If you're a good player, if you're a good player, like you're a top tier player, you're gonna do something like Law, which is gonna give you a way higher ceiling than Zoro. Zoro has a higher floor but a lower ceiling, and that's why you see like a lot of average players play it. But like the big brain players can really just do excellent work with a Law, a Dofi, now with Croc, or someone that maybe Ace or a yellow deck that can do a lot of life manipulation, or even like Rob Lucci. Like there's higher ceiling decks, and so we're not saying that you're not a good player if you play Zoro. It's just
no, not at all.
If you're a player that's expecting or really trying to top a Treasure Cup or a regional, you should not have Zoro as your deck, even if red's your favorite color. I'm on Whitebeard right now, and I'm going to be checking out Ace a lot, so I'm focusing heavily on red for set 3. But yeah, it's just whatever.
Yeah.
I think people are also we saw this in set 1 and in the set 2. People are glued to the Japanese meta. And you see in here in the US, after a few months, it's just completely different meta. It looks nothing like the way the Japanese meta looked. And I think that's another thing why Zoro is so popular.
Boat for a while too, and they had Boat, right? They had Boat for like half their set 3 meta, right? So that's kind of hard, anecdotally, right?
Yeah, but set 1, set 2, like they didn't have Kid. They had Zoro's like the best unbeatable deck in set 1. And here, if you went to a Treasure Cup, it was just nonstop Kid and Law, like everywhere.
Do you think there's even more aspects of rock, paper, scissors in this set, or just more aspects of play, and deck building?
I think it's more play, honestly. I don't feel like maybe set 2 was rock, paper, scissors more so because like Dofi just cracked all the red decks, and then Law cracked Dofi, and then the red decks cracked Law. But in set 3, I think it's wide open. I think Lucci is widely unexplored. I think it's S tier, like top tier.
Yeah.
I think Croc is widely unexplored. And Yellow, I think is good, just not. I think Katakuri is good, but I think Big Mom is better.
Okay. Yeah.
And Zoro sucks.
I'm trying to think of any like other sleeper ones we're not even like considering right now. We're Ace and Whitebeard are obviously super good, right? They got better this set, even though they lost Boat. People are still winning like set 4 things with playing Whitebeard.
Yeah, Whitebeard's still good. It's very consistent. It's just very consistent. I will say the biggest thing about Whitebeard is people don't know how to play against it properly, and I think people are starting to learn. Like I don't know if little rant, but I don't know if you remember Strawbeard when it was popular.
Yeah.
I made a video that's like, stop playing characters against Strawbeard, put all your Dawn on your leader and attack at them, and they will die. And like I've used it so many times in tournaments, and I'll make a video about it, and I still don't see people doing it. It's going to be the same thing in set 3. People just aren't. People are playing the same way against Whitebeard, but it's a totally different deck. You cannot play the same way against it and expect to win.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, in Whitebeard now, like in set 3, they're still playing Marco blockers, right? Because they actually have a lot of Whitebeard cards, and that would that strategy work very well now? Just attack them, or
it still works, but you're having to go about it depending on what you're playing. Like if you're playing Croc, you have 3,000 worlds in your Croc ability to get around it. If you're playing Big Mom, you have Thunderbolt to pop it for 2 Dawn, which is very cheap.
Yeah, you just need removal of Marcos. Oh, okay.
Yeah. If you're playing Lucci, you already have the built-in I can attack twice. So I can swing for 12, and if they block, that costs them a card, then I discard 2 cards and attack for 12 with them. So every deck kind of has recourse against it, except maybe like Zoro, because Zoro's not playing Jet Pistol anymore. So.
That's right. They don't play Jet Pistol. Yeah, they play like. Thank God.
Like Ace, I played games with Ace against Whitebeard where I'm like Flame Emperor your Marco, and then attach lead onto my Ace, and then pitch my hand and attack for like 20 to kill them. Because you just pitch all those events you've been holding the whole game.
Let me see.
Just stop playing a bunch of characters and attaching 1 Dawn to them, attacking for 6. That's just not how you win. It's not the best way to win against them.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I guess what I wanted to ask, what's going on with Will to Win at Patreon? What's going on with you guys too right now? What's under the works specifically?
Specifically, so once he actually makes into an online event, and what I'm doing is I'm going to be recording every online event I play, and that's going to be specifically for the Patreons. Like every round, my commentary with it, everything is going to be specifically for the Patreons.
Yeah.
So that would be just like real-time tournament gameplay at as high as level as I could possibly play. Because I'm trying to win. Like that's what I'm there for. I'm in a tournament to win. I don't care about the prizing's nice, but ultimately I'm there to win. And that's what I play for.
What we try to focus on is highly competitive. Like, do you want to get better? Okay, let's get better. And we share our knowledge. So with our patrons, they'll request in-depth videos, strategy guides, matchup gameplay. We'll do hour-long phone calls. We'll do game theory with them. I literally just this morning built my deck and then sent a picture of it to a patron for his regional this weekend online, and gave him just a quick synapse of this is what you want to be doing going first or second. This is how you want to play this, some things. And then that way, they can get from it. So it's not like they have to. There's different tiers. The higher the tier, the more access they get. But the whole point is, in the sense of we're almost on speed dial for theory analysis, help with deck techs, and to get better at the game. And that's what we want to focus on. We just got done we just started it, but we're doing a box giveaway for our patrons. So we're doing stuff like that. So that's what we want to focus on, is if somebody doesn't mind spending a little bit of money to be our patron, we wanted to make it really worth their while and make sure they're having a very good return. Their return on investment to be tenfold.
Yeah, and you guys have had like decent success with some of your patrons, right?
We get messages from them, or like I went X and 2 at my first tournament. My last one I went like 3 and 5 or 3 and 6 or something. So we're definitely helping them out because we've got 4 full-time coaches in our patron.
Yeah, I mean,
our Patreon.
You've also had like some decent toppers, right? I think you said something to that. Like we went to the tournament, this person got first, this person got third. I remember what it was.
I mean, Peoria, we all got top 32. I got top 8. Tyler got top 16, and my wife got top 32. So we're definitely we know what we're talking about. It's not like we're saying we're like the best players on the planet, but if you want to get better, we know how to do that for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Like that is what we're here for.
Makes sense. All right. Ty, do you have any shout outs? Where can we find you at all in the hemisphere of One Piece?
Shout out to Paul Giroux getting our boxes in Tulsa.
Yeah, right. Shoot, yeah, the MVP there. I'm not a big online guy. I am. If you want to add me on Discord, it's OK capital O capital K KAY number 3734.
Yeah,
That's
in the description. Sure.
Okay, cool, perfect. Realistically, I'm chilling in our Discord, and that's really it. I don't really
our Patreon Discord.
Yeah,
$5 a month you can get in our Discord. And I forgot to mention our patrons actually talk amongst themselves too a lot. So like they help each other if we're like sleeping or something.
Yeah. Also, they have like they'll do Discord games amongst themselves as well. So we'll see people just talking on voice chat. We're playing in gameplay in our Discord when we're just like poking around.
Yep. And we'll hop in if we're not busy and be like, yeah, what's going on, guys? You want some help? Sometimes we'll say go away, but it's fine.
And then, Will, where can we find your socials?
So you can add me on Discord. It is just World of One Gaming now.
Yeah,
I think Discord actually changed it.
Yeah.
So mine is just World of One Gaming. There's no numbers or anything. And then all of our social media stuff is all over our YouTube.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I'll make sure to link. I'll definitely make sure to link your YouTube. I'll be putting this on Twitter and everything, and you'll hear it on Spotify the next couple days. Shouldn't be too big of an edit for me, but and you can find me here at twitch.tv/KEKFILA or my YouTube KEKFILA, Spotify KEKCast, and if you need any questions, I'm definitely going to be playing a lot more Doflamingo still. Actually, this set to do that, but I'm testing a lot with Croc now just cuz, and then yellow's my favorite color, so I might just do more Big Mom than Katakuri now that you talked me into it. So
I'll send you a list.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you all so much for showing up here. See you in the next episode of KEKCast. Ciao.